when we were talking about the Atomic Habits, what's the one thing that our brains always run to? And it's always the easiest path to whatever it is that you want, right? And what that translates to, it is comfortability. And I feel like as humans, we tend to run towards comfortability and this thing people call happiness, which, I mean, I think we are in agreement. There's not really a thing called happiness.
Or its happiness is fleeting.
Mm-hmm. It's something temporary. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with the stories that we tell sometimes, that's what we're running to. Comfortability. Like, how can I tell this story differently where it's going to make me feel comfortable?
Yeah.
And comfortability might be something positive, as in like what I would do when I was going through hard times. Like, nope, God's got me. We're all good. Like, the bad doesn't really even exist. You know, it has no power. Like, I was basically, what I was doing is negative emotions block, like processing negative emotions block, just block. And the word that I use is disassociating, where I was just like, no, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. And it's not for the sake of they're not real. It's just don't know how to deal with it. Don't know how to deal with it. Don't know how to deal with it. So I'm going to put you guys away and I'm just going to continue forward, just preaching and testifying. God is good. Look at everything that I'm going bad through and God is still good and blah. That made me feel comfortable, but it serviced me for the sake of survival, but it did not service me in order to be completely healthy, because what I was looking for in those moments was, how can I be comfortable? How can I feel like I'm surviving? How can I feel like I'm going to make it through this? Right? And there's a huge difference between comfortability and quote unquote happiness and peace and joy. There's a huge difference. Why? Because in the way that I was doing it, I had a false sense of peace, that's for sure. But it wasn't true peace, because I believe true peace comes with, I see the full picture. I see the enemies and I see the table. I have felt the enemies and I've seen the table. I have processed these feelings of fear and rejection and hurt and pain and wounds and bleeding out and not knowing what to do with all that. Feeling like I'm falling into a pit of depression. Like, I've seen all that, felt it, and now is when I know God still got me. That's what I believe peace is you taking it all in and knowing that God's got you. That's a peace that surpasses all understanding, because the understanding and the logical brain goes, buddy, this all sucks. You can't deal with none of it. But the surpassing all understanding goes, I can't deal with this, but God can.
Yeah.
And God's with me, and we're going to work through this together. And that's where the joy comes in.